Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all okay. Today's video is going to be a chatty life update, so grab yourself a cup of tea or a coffee. I've got my caramel macchiato and I'll tell you what we've been up to lately. So I haven't done a chatty life update since I think when I went back to work. Quinn was about 9-10 months old was the last time I did a sit down chatty update video. So it's been a while, but I'm not going to go through 18 months worth of life with you. I'm just going to tell you what we've been up to or what's been going on with us in the last month or so. You'll probably see from one of my previous vlogs that we started potty training my daughter. For those of you that don't know, I have or are new here, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. Actually, she'll be 3 in December. So a 2.5-year-old daughter called Quinn. And we started potty training her August bank holiday weekend. We assumed that she was ready. Pretty much all of the signs were there. And the first couple of days went really well. The first 3 days were fine. Then the bank holiday, and then I went back to work on the Tuesday. Everything just went really badly downhill. Lots of accidents, refusal to use the potty or the toilet, tantrums whenever we asked her if she wanted to go or tried to put her on the toilet. She would just throw a little meltdown, and we stuck at it for about a week and a half. And I said to my husband in the end, you know, is she really ready? I'm not so sure. Did we misread the signs? I actually wrote a blog post about it, which I'll leave a link to down below if you want to go and take a look at that. But probably the end of last week, I spoke to a paediatrician, and I started talking to her a long time ago actually, and it was through a Facebook post that I did. And she's a paediatrician and she's a sleep specialist, and she also does potty training workshops in children's centres. And she got in contact with me a long time ago and gave me some information on tips to use for potty training. And she said to me at the time, if you need anything, if you've got any questions, then just send me an email. So I suddenly thought about her end of last week, and I thought I'd send her an email, and I explained the situation and what had happened. And if you haven't seen my vlog on potty training, so like our journey so far, then I'll leave a link down below to that, and I explain what happened in there. But the second day of Quinn potty training, she choked. We had some dairy-free little chocolates that we would give her every time she used the toilet. And unfortunately, she choked on one of the chocolates on the second day, like proper choking, which is not a face I ever want to see in my entire life again. It was awful. It was so frightening. Quinn was petrified, bless her. She didn't know what had gone on. And I explained everything to this lady, and she said it sounds like that little trauma could have mentally set her back, which makes sense actually, because when you're potty training, everything's supposed to be nice and calm, isn't it? You know, no teething, no holidays, no disruptions. Everything's supposed to be nice and calm, nothing going on. And she said it might have mentally set her back, because it just seemed funny that after that it just started to go downhill. So she said to us to put her back in nappies and not talk about it for a couple of weeks, and try again in a month or two, or a couple of weeks even. But we happen to be going on holiday at the beginning of October, so we have to wait until after then. And she said, yeah, wait for a couple of weeks, put her back in nappies, don't use pull-ups, because I had put her in pull-ups by this point. And she said, don't talk about it in front of her. If she wants to use the toilet of her own accord, then fine, let her and give her the praise for it. But otherwise, just try again. And so that's what we've decided to do. So yeah, but funnily since then there has been quite a few times where of her own accord she has wanted to use the potty or the toilet. She does prefer to use the toilet actually, so with a trainer seat, that she's gone running into the toilet, "Mummy, wee wee quick," or if my mum's minding her, "Nanny, wee wee quick," and she'll sit and she will do a wee on the toilet. So we've still been rewarding her for that and giving her lots of praise. So yeah, that's where we kind of are with our potty training journey. So there will be a potty training journey take 2 at some point in the future. So that's where we are with that. So as I mentioned just then, we are going on holiday in October, which is something that we're looking forward to. We are going to stay at Haven in Rockley Park in Dorset, which I'm really, really excited about, because we went to Haven last year when Quinn was 18 months old and we stayed at Devon Cliffs, which was fantastic. And Quinn really loved it. She loved the Seaside Squad, she loved all the characters, and she at first was a little bit nervous of the dancing and the discos and everything in like the early evening, but as the week progressed she started to really enjoy it and sort of like dance around. So with her being that much older this year, I'm really looking forward to that. So that's in the first week of October, so hence why we have to wait until after then to go to try again with the potty training. Actually saying that, we are then going away in November as well, because it's John's birthday in November. So we are going, I've paid for us to go to Sherwood Forest for the weekend, stay in some log cabins, which will be really nice. So depends whether we'll do it before then, sort of after Haven before Sherwood Forest, or after Sherwood Forest before Christmas. So we'll see kind of, you know, when we feel that she's most ready to try again. But there has also been a lot of talk and thought about baby number 2 in this family. We always knew that we would want another child when we had Quinn, should we be lucky enough. And we always said from, I think we started sort of talking about it when I was pregnant, that we would always wait until Quinn was roughly 3 years old to have a second child, so that there was a nice age gap. I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee. Oh, yummy. Yeah, so there was a nice age gap between the two. And obviously Quinn's going to turn 3 in December, so there's been a lot of talk about baby number 2. But however, we have decided we're definitely going to have a baby number 2. But we're still a little bit undecided on when we're going to try or start trying. Ideally we would like, or we can't do anything until November anyway, because we went to Mexico back in May, and they are high risk of the Zika virus, and so they told us not to even try for 6 months from the day that we come home from Mexico, as apparently it's the men that carry the Zika virus. So we can't do anything until the end of November anyway. So I'm a bit undecided as to whether to try straight away from November or wait until after Christmas. But I want to plan it really carefully this time, because I don't want to have another child, if we can help it, at Christmas time. Obviously Quinn was born the day before New Year's Eve, and she was due New Year's Eve, and so I don't want to have another child in the same month. It's expensive enough as it is, and it's already expensive doubly for us now with having a child for Christmas and then a birthday a week later. So yeah, we're still a little bit undecided. I mean, I would really like to start trying straight away. But I say, there's still some conversations to be had. Obviously finances get involved, and there's, yes, still some conversations to be had with my husband. But baby number 2 is definitely going to happen, I'm pleased to say. I'm very excited about that. So, and I'd love for Quinn to have a baby brother or a baby sister. We've already spoken to her, or kind of dropped it into conversation with her. Quinn, would you like to have a baby brother or a sister? And she's yes. So yeah, that will be quite exciting to look forward to, if we're lucky enough to have a second child. We're also going to start thinking about decorating this house. because the original plan for this year was that we were going to move house, and I'll explain a little bit about that in a minute, but that's now not going to happen for at least a couple of years. So we're going to be staying put here. At the moment we live in a 3-bed ground floor maisonette, so we have our own garden, so it's kind of like having our own house, but we rent, and everything in this house, I don't know if you've probably noticed in some of my vlogs, everything in the house is white. All the walls are white, everything. It's very, very clear, apart from Quinn's first bedroom. Actually, I think in her first bedroom when she was first born was bright pink with Disney princess walls. But the landlord said that we were okay to do that. So, but we've decided to decorate in here. Nothing too fancy. I say I don't want to spend a lot of money on decorating with, you know, on a property that's not ours, because, you know, I would just be wasting my money. But I do want to, if we are going to stay here, take a little bit of the clinical feel out of the rooms. So I'm going to be doing some decorating soon, I think. So yes, darling.
Oh.
Oh dear.
You're
going to come to say hello. Do you want to say hello? Look. So I could hear her coming, hence the pause. You say hi. Mummy's just having a little chat. Yeah? Do you want to sit there? So yeah, I'm going to start thinking about taking the clinical feel out of some of the rooms. Maybe some like grey blues, or some like mocha colours in some of the rooms as well. So yeah, I'll probably do that at the end of this month. So yeah, as I mentioned about moving just then, this is not something I've really mentioned on any of my vlogs before. I think I may have touched base on it a couple of times, but I've never really explained anything. Basically, we were going to be, or the plan is to still eventually move in with my parents. And a couple of reasons why we will be doing that is basically John and I can't get a mortgage at the moment. I was in a very unfortunate situation quite a few years back, long before I met my husband, that I had a relationship that ended very, very badly, and I was forced into a situation that I had to declare myself bankrupt, which has always hindered any prospect of me getting a mortgage. So that is one reason why. We have been in contact with a couple of mortgage advisors, and we found a really helpful guy quite local to us, who said, actually, because my 6 years is coming up, everything stays on your credit report for 6 years. My 6 years ends this November after being discharged from bankruptcy. That is this year. So my credit rating should start boosting now, which is good. I mean, I've had no credit since. I mean, I'm not really ashamed to talk about it. It's just an unfortunate situation I was put into. But I've had no credit since then. I followed the rules. I did everything that I needed to do. So my credit rating is still building, but it should hopefully start building even more come from November. Although the guy did say to me that actually when it comes to mortgages, they will always find the bankruptcy on your file somewhere. But it doesn't mean, the good news is that he found, or that he told us, is that he doesn't stop us from getting a mortgage. What does stop us from getting a mortgage is the fact that we rent, and because I've never been able to do things in the past because of my bankruptcy, is that we've had to rent, and with renting we don't have a way of saving for a deposit. So it's always a big thing for us that we want something in our future to leave for our children. If we rent, then we have nothing to leave behind. So my parents came up with an idea that they would sell their house, and we would take the money from their house, put into a bigger house, but a house big enough to house 2 families. So we would have half of one house, have half of the house, and they would have the other half. So 2 lounges, at least 4 bedrooms. We're talking a big house to house 2 families. and one of them growing family. But that's just brief. I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail. A lot of people don't agree with what we're doing, and other people say to us, oh, I know somebody that's done that, and I know somebody that's doing a similar thing. And quite honestly, it's difficult to get mortgages these days. It's a renter's market, as a lot of you probably already know, but that is our plan. And, you know, don't get me wrong, we would love to do anything in our power to get a mortgage of our own, but unfortunately that's not on the cards right now. What is on the cards right now and is an option for us is to do it this way. But that has been put on hold at the moment, and hopefully we'll revisit it in 2 years' time or so. So that's that. But other than that, that's all we've really been up to, really. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the autumn season. So we're just going into autumn now. I'm really looking forward to autumn and winter. There's so many things to look forward to in autumn and winter, I find, especially when you've got children. I mean, you know, you've got fireworks and Halloween and fireworks, and then Christmas things start happening from sort of middle of November, Christmas fairs, all things like that. So I'm really, really looking forward to Christmas and the seasons this year. The little one behind me is that much older now. She really understands the prospect of presents and Father Christmas. So I'm super duper excited for that.
Bye.
But yeah, that's everything that's been going on with us lately, and a few things I'm looking forward to. So I'm really looking forward to the holidays as well. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope I didn't ramble and bore you too much, but please give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. But I'm going to say goodbye. Quinn, do you want to say goodbye?
Bye-bye.
Come here. Come here, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.